have a block 3, Public Policy Perspectives Unit 8, Public Policy Approach. The classes. Now, public policy is maru ako'y sama-sama laiba ama laiba tarabadi sama-sama laibadi madu siyamdog siyamdin kunggo ponsin mayama mo pagbudabat tangay patawasin ko ako'y kusira sila tawtiya o nintong panayama tam na nintong lapamag madugin na tawte. It's true public policy. On the public policy itself, kuda mo na lang the kari-kari jaga asin na tawte kaya health, education, o nailaisun na batang saan dito. Sa tuksa sintaw na ba, ako da layla singi maramda, yung maramda, ulit sa layla layta ba pa, sa pilag sali maramda, nahaw na nawari ba, arwan area ki, karam na mo isiya have a planning do sa kayo. Now, si mayam siya, hay do na, ako na, kung ay ba miyang si kaya, hay do na po yun. The focus is shifted to description of the content, analysis and explanation of the cause and consequences of government policy. With lay haiduna travesita we have to. Karino yawisi, the way yawino, Kamani yahola pono, the way of bueno, Paramanam Karino, Paramanam Patrino, highway I will mean things, seeing a way being sipana, public policy in Makabra, Zakaris. And public policy said, when our moon side at the carry no hana in Pocomatam. Bumming is the gidum. Upon a noun of the Yangas. Sarugani, when Parasi Madina, public policy approach, public policy approach is the Sarugani, public policy approach. Some hierarchy, public policy hierarchy get about Mio Bagim Maram the Pulnako. At the time, Mio Mosumio na tawag ito kapag sing maramda. Sarkar na talaga na sarkar ni Sanstansina tawag tugo ko na public policy ka wala. So already dahil na the activities that are performed by the government have said. Now, asigi masak sing ay tari i-attributes may niyeng sing karino ay tari. Policy meant to respond some sort of problem they request at the police. But mas samasya karada yang sanawani ang tangay pati na samasya la amatum na adu yang sanawani public policy niya mingga niya bitang tawani the public policy MC kalmo pandam mama na kalmo papamba mo pangnaman ito o yung samar pa na kalmo na samasya magi madugi solution korang nama madu kong nama ito na samasya do kong mabatawag korang. The policy ultimately meant by the government that's why public policy kanana siyam kahit the government na siyam government na kana magi masama rin sing ato pa kananta na siyam ato pa na siyam di public policy to. The policies interpreted and implemented by public and private actors who have different interpretations of problem solutions and their own motivations. So, hariba public policies have kabago na on topo matandati. Saka kakta na taong niya habi diliti. Saka na taba topo may ang sitawin. Si kuda mo na healthy sector na healthy law si kung na-apply tabo matanda. Private sector na iba health sector of work iba संस्थान na kada doctors sing equally government ki sector sing da lai work to doctors da artha cham anum kai da thawak sing chaman ta to khud kawai mo khena be kena phan ba walan ba aga wari me to do adu implementation ki thawak sing da kana ta we sarkar na so lanagi mi sing lo na to am sam na ha ba public policy is karino hamatam government and taugen tawi public policy taugen tawi public policy siya mang chapa extermini what the government choose to do or not to do. Tawi public policy missing Tauroi Haribu's policy, Simakanga, Tautokumak, Aramanate, Tauroi Haribu, Maramomanekatuni, or Madusai analysis Haribu, and Nainava, Exxon Mam Samanina. So Tauroi Haribu, Maramoman, Madus policy, and Sina. Tau have its policy, Tau have its policy. So the Magi Crest Hamlopna Harmato, the Karehanami of all powers in the Magi attribute Masaksin. Cochrane and Maloney Harmis, public policy refers to the study of government decisions and actions designed to deal with matters of public concerns. Public policy. The sum of government activities, whether acting directly through agents such as it has an influence on the life of the citizens. So, Prajagi Punsiro Karimba. Nana Karim Kara, Mami Sohala, Mami Tahali, Tabak Sindu, when a public policy go. Apavado way, Atavado way, Odo, and Karim Nana, Madu Sapuma, Alabata, Madu Poto, when a Sakara of Putavati, when a public policy go. Thomas die Harrigan mind. Public policy is whether a government chooses to do or not to public mind. Hence, public policy may be defined as a purposive course of action taken or adopted by those in power in pursuit of certain goals or objectives. I am Samlopna si Mayamsi, Tasala Kona Havia Absakanoda. Sakti Paiva missing the Nakarimo Panda Mama, Karimo Wakalo, Pangnabuki Namagda, Tawina Tawa Tabak Singdo, Waparing Singdo, upon a bit away, public policy for we have. Although Jixum High Ado Hari of what's in say, Praza Katana, Natragana, Saka Katana, the Anima Puna, Nanago Jabasu, Saka Gorsu, Nasi policies in say, Tabaton go ahead. Now, Hajiki policy that was we have public policy of Chikai Nonsense. Samna, Aminsapana, Sakana Pamagatawa, Pamagatawa, and Tawasisu, public policy. So approach cyber public policy to be approach cyber to be sort of art approach hierarchy Masiam Sana have solve me and money happening. Approaches are broad pathways to understand the theme of the service. Or what Tobok Tones no Ying Abedamata, Satari of Ming, Lambi Parindo at the Bokuna approach going. So approach cybersity, Tabok Tone, Nati Sabsana, Avidimasity, Aquanan. Scholarly Mahi vision from the labor, missing them, getting Wakalo Namasaka Lagamadu, never more of analysis, provide intelligent tools for study and understanding of political phenomena. Or with our tone, Yegnabatamata, it's Mahi vision from that, much Mahi with Taro Tazin for Sumanatragana, Mahi Pitok vision from the labor, missing them, the Wataboxing to Bunyapana, approach. Now, approach to Karikari Yabudakan. Approach is a theories, ma'am, Yabusu, and a single theory of the Shenko. Aduna, Mazda Karitality, the meaning to have the Nico Valley. The main objective approach is to give order to a diverse range of political phenomena by fitting them within a limited sets of concepts. So, how do you talk about Hog Mam? Who don't put a Chinese game with the idea of the Nantusum. And Madu Okuna Kangba Kangnariba Paringa Mada, Madu Pidin Dosaka, the Hapsan Galunia, Madu Okuna Lambima, I Siamba Yala, Hana Yala, with the Hapsan Masway, or Nauna no Yakbe, although the Yingwayava, Madu Kangna Vedamata, you want to have the line Hydropoda, or a Pedasukuna Kangna Vedamata, same Lambi Lambi approach. I said, whereas Madu model size Naka. Sisu models approach na wakana saga ko posimi adu model saga di apna system kena basna kaina madi angka ge maronde ko geta bane am samna hai bada approach saga di apna sumna wahi pare singa ibe do apna model saga ga ayam matam namse keta ba angka ge maronda hai basin do apna models ko. So a model is a simplified representation or abstraction of some aspects of the real world. When a lady ba, when zero with her boxing Sigmaramda, Samlapna, TN high topoli tabako, the water book and a model go, high with tabakse, and the morons in the heck over. Now, Sisuchaman prosu, Okogi Mahigis in Pondale, missing Tobotoni, the model size is Okogi Mahigis in Pomsinga, Mahibu, Mahi, the season Aduna, Wakalon Shabapa, Sabupa, Tobotobok Singa, Layumisina, Save Tobotobok. Aduna Masisa, Punsiro, the same Uber Maternity, Punsiro the book, when often the same, for even producing the book, Kanga Vedamakatova. And open a model question. Models are typically include sets of categories, assumptions, and postulates, which are used to sort out data, analyze it, determine relationships, and help the model builder to explain or predict. Samaso or not of a toy with Hodosingo, but Kanga Vedamaka, Madu Haina Vedamta, when a Karimu namely with the wood to minute to the Lali, I think Aduma Mayam the Yoba, Wakal Porto models. Our kindness had a mentally made is a model like Uncle Moro the evening, I want the geometry model. Geometry, arithmetic models, more the high. The wall, some of my sim and the put a sing in European Zero, the Ubon to Pomerte, I think I know nicely. My missing on the label missing now, my Gan Sunava, Gan Tara with the Horabata. Sino like Anthony approach Amazon models. Now, why Dorna as I get a models elements map and had there should be some clarification of values, objects, and criteria for decision making. For to decision number period, low with the have to be low with the values, objectives, seeing the same numeric summa. And the methods should include identify of alternatives with an effort to consider new alternatives and to stimulate creation of several alternatives. High objectives include values in the Atopalambi Sinkari, because have to shoot Kadavani, Atopalambi Sindom, Adusukuman, as a rational decision making the Kangati, so higher up in one so to give alternatives to be Pandam Matutor Matunda Karikari convey Karikari alternatives like Habitat Atusu, Pazana Mamitano, and the methods include preliminary estimation of expected payoffs from the various alternatives and decisions on whether a strategy of minimum risk or of innovation is preferable. Karamba Taura, Karamana Pakataki have expected period. See Taura, Sima, he has local of the Karikari Moma, Lobway, Karikari Pangway, Karikari Pangaway, or we have a Sina Karikari Taway, Taway. To promote Torota Singdom Karam Namu, Toroga, Tohongataki Haduna, Yangsan Adugim Lambi Paring to shoe, Hapatabani having. Now, the Matangana, if it is the first, the incremental change model should be followed by Aham Badoragadi incremental model of Namuhagido. Again, South Lin Blomgil, mathematics and Hapton Banana, incremental change then. So the model they apply to whatever happening. Then I do not Ragadi, if it is the latter, the next step should be establishing a cutoff horizon for considering the possible results of the alternative policies and identifying the major expected results, relying on available knowledge and intuitions. But we have the Karikari Tawab have the happen. Aham to avoid that Madu Loinamti Pangavanina, Haditan the home, Makasin Hapsan Mamata Pati having Madu to Tobata. Number 5 is analysis of the alternatives should be dealt with both quantitative and qualitative factors in order to overcome the limitations of the current systems analysis and advance towards policy analysis. Qualitative and quantitative elements are what are happening. No, you can't without the quantitative by the economic wakalons happening. There were qualitative and political factors happening. Policy mata the samane and sometimes the finance and politics ki maruai. So animal to give tangai padaba interplay hai ter mabani makta leinari ba thamak tu ga tabu matam da leinai ba bani singdo adu gi ban da kumna haga da bani habani madu phasna ek thoba ki thoba thana ba da bani. Now, the method should include an effort to decide whether the issue is important enough to make more comprehensive analysis worthwhile. And a kubna, young son by the time for the Brahabitu, and Sarona Kubni young son by the time for the Brahabitu, or Hena Karina Kanahali Habito, Adushu Hagataban happening. Theory and experience, rationality and extra rationality will be relied upon. The expositions of the mix must depend upon the various availabilities and on the nature of the problems. High Potu Sugaidova, Akogi, Hector Babas had a quarter of the Hamini, Hana Kanara with Sanapatapsing, Wakalons in Adda, or Yumpamova, Tragana Mokumi and the answer that Yumpamova, what about the happening, the Babsasing that I did happening. Explicit techniques such as simulations and Delphi methods should be used as far as appropriate, and knowledge from various disciplines should be brought to bear on the issue. Samasya da kaidarawa hekta to simba ta akaknawa atopa mahi sim paring singagi haidare moidagi su koi wakhalon myam pusalatuna adagamu simulations madubu thabon ondopa yabagi mong okodu chawna na ta supiklamna adugi lambi parat pathap singpa Kuchukulai Lambi Sindo, Hagadabani, Yawatabani happen. Therefore, the method should include explicit arrangement to improve the policy making by systematic learning from experience, a stimulation, initiative, and creativity, developing the staff and encouraging intellectual effort. So, how do method to Nagadaba policy to Pagalan Bagi Lambi Yawatabani happening? Lambi to whether some policy to apply to Matanda. Kangka doni, Torka doni, Madu Tamaiba Mahisi, Kanga Rivano Gansing, Tansalaiba Singo, Madu Hapsilatuna, Apana, Kena Pava, Lambi Mo, and never see another coaching or the governing happening. Masini, Mana Sarana, public policy, Amazon, approach Skimaramda, when a Kanga Tabas. The approach Nakarino and models Nakarino, some of the Mohamisni, Wakana, Sagapa, Mahima Singi, Yangi. Lambda labor nation again, single season to pass Hagata one of the season of the models going, a public policy again. Sarkar Masum, Sarkari, Maglotion sing or Magi, Masaparing sing the Siamba, Kanagi Damata, Prazaki Damata, Musum Prazaki, issues in great rest of the Bukena, public policy career. Now, method the origin and development of public policy. Yam team with another Ragasu. Public policy ideas, a guide the enlightenment period, the European enlightenment period, the beginning. Enlightenment, the Lunan Saga Tola in Antismana, known again Tarkomatam, history that actually period the Yahan. The Adugi Matam, the Kalino, Kanari, enlightenment period, I say, Miamgi Oiba Samasya Sidi, Kaidova. Miyamgi knowledge se, mi gyan knowledge mahise, kadoba. Season naraga, ako naman si samasya sindo, ako na kadoba. Address to kami, solve to kami. Masigi wakalon si mag itself ka, but public policy ki, aro pamni hai na lawiyay. The pudam mo na haro matam na panayaman yung Max Weber na haro ako yung industrialization na to industrial initiatives ma'am si hekala ko dagi matumina maram mo din ko tangay pa ba makoy khattagi ba industries in khatto ba ko na administration naman sangay higher coaching do ko na kito ba ko na ko na bureaucratic organizations na tamay do ni wherever yan alo masigi punna tawrang ba dagi sige industrialization tolo pa dagi to kind specializing nila ma together with police, Massima human address issue to yeah. So when all Natagana against Naharam is the government was to have a chance of dealing with the problems of the day, that you recognize the need for a policy approach to governing. समाज में शासन तौगे है ताकि पॉलिसी में चंगे है now single general phenomenon do ne ko enlightenment period ki kai dagi kamana tholok ki bi ha do ka ko watani ado sa enlightenment period ta pa ningi bo halon do mayam su do na ko ba pali nai nai hapam ni ha ni ko ji ko na khanga do wa ma ju di saurapa hai ba thabak tu ne as a discipline mahai gi saruk ama oina akakna ba saruk amona mahigi saruk ama chawa body di en kedowa benalena akakna ba top top pa marom nom le pa ngamba mahigi paringa moina karam panda tholake habisi kedowa masigi am chawa maram sidi kan order lai America da pangthok ba social science research council na conference ni pangthok pa ne 1960s da ana cc da inform moina kadonya kariba public policy as a discipline ko mahigi paring amoina tholo pasini so now how can I get masi kada de tholo pano ha ha from the 1960s ki goram panai lisingam ga chamapan humpu gi loram dai saruta America da le social science research council gi mi makhada when conference ani tawi conference ani tawi conference ani dugi da phong gi ba thogi miyam khana gi ba naina gi ba miyam marak tham gi ba koi wakhalon sing Instagram papers ka adu khara lokhalaga collection of papers ama adu mayam do kana lariki mo da kon Austin Rennie na 1968 da singam chamapan homphuni pan de edit tawraga honglok pasinen public policy khakta da naina raga madu de informer ka naina masine kwai ya hamba larik ama oina thorpa ngamba solution masine kuna inform mahi dugi akakna ba inform ama to khaiba to bi phamu sa ba horeis si makhata bada lising ngam chamapan kumbudra ni thoida policy studies organization haiba ma linkhali adugi makhata bada to ko mayam ma poli linkhalaki moina kaida ba journals ko ni paw mahis gi gyan mayam du sadona ba mayam pirapatu journals su phom ba hore ha tare adugi matung ta bada Apalagi maru oina sina macha macha ni ado masi university ki thakta koi masi yaudri ado or college ki thakta yaudri individual initiatives na hakane mai ki thakta university ki thakta gram wala ke da high we me amse ke da koi college amasu universities da graduate and postgraduate departments in hangdoro pasine ero 1970s da kada under integrated social science which could raise the boundaries of the academic discipline. Discipline na MA ekame handle personnel. The possibility as an integrated from the library symposium, seminars that were happening, but size 70 doesn't. I think to undergraduate course to PG to see my arms in Masigi parents in public policy as a discipline immersed already. Amaduna foundation premise mayam polo pagi labi pari but chap chana discipline hai di like oina tamba home badagi hendra tamba race di 1970s 80s da undergraduates ko no ja hena BA tamich maina and MA gi thakta hangdor pasine adu lona na tokai ba wakhan khanna bagi sta naina na bagi sangstar mayam ma hangdor pasine now adui hangdopor padagidi amuke na masi discipline mo bada mapung phala isna kayo 1980s maya kolor padagina 90s pawada America da horopani haiba thobo wari na America ki the thobo liba thoboina liba ni thopa thoboina or masi ka America ni samudo komal landona itebiga to lam sinda e sandora pasine so now adui ta digira public policy se discipline among Pitri Pumana, Hangnare, Yanare happening. The public policy approach the Mari Muntimams. Toinan Yawi, I was a Harlow Laswell, Howard Simon, Koyanashimati Tamreta, Charles Lindblom, then David Eston, or Marie City Apona, my sister, public policy approach. Iroina Yawami. maming leiraba missing. The adum America gi turen turban lalak pada kita punya policies, public policies, punya policy science or policy analysis itu mahine ba. So interchangeably amana mahade. Kesumau maming answer public policy ada made policy science ada amana policy analysis ada na. Semua tu ada maming ada tapi these are interchangeably used over wahi ngakan. Policy science I would say kari with the sarwani yawi amana policy analysis concerned with the knowledge in and of for the policy process. Tauliba policy di maram tauliba thabo mo sito. Kamana semo pe kanana semai kana kai de bodai sem no hai na adu maram na nai adu sa tu policy analysis kawi adagi analysis of the policy process. Now process must have to move to me natraga nali hai na nai na bagi thabo na when the public analysis of the public policy process correct public policy analysis sound karamna kamana kanana na through the no hai na nai na policy analysis. Now masjidagi thabo paring sida mi me amna masjida sai do we mo ge wakalo pirami adu manung singo khara nai na tagai phade I was in the manung da padi maru da Howard Simon gani ka when rationality ki decision making da nai na ki baduni ana Howard Simon contribution towards a public policy approach. Now idea dikhange magi lari administrative behavior habit da yo ana mamang dapat itu mana magi central argument ke no rest minggu bese boundary rationality le ya ada minggu beduna boundary rationality le na kai loki magi kata satisfying decisions loki bane adu mana sigi decision loki labi se what are the stages of decision making se ke no matlab intelligence design and choice hai policy option ba sem ba masum matu amak khan batuna satisfying decision hai jo amak khan ba ko lai ba mo da amiba power ma amiba power da yum pham wara kari to ba man sem ba adu sem ba me am du karam mana phai phagada ge ha jo choice to ba c ne ba na che also overall public policy is a c ne ha ni na and power option ba madu design to ba masum madu ge phai phab amak khan ba adu go ba public policy ne mai mi ngai de now high was thabu ani lai hai bani a theoretical level analysis involves the study of the limits of human rationality in organization context organization da kari lai ba matam da mi bagi kari awar pa aswan ba lai bagi hai bani ali inside power and khang magam de bounded way hai bani now thabu na tabu in practical terms it involves designing the organizational environment so that the individual will approach as close as predictable to rationality in his decisions. Kuna decision lo do sai ga agi boundary lai bana mara mo na mama na ka da environment to kari piga da bana so that magi routine no han ga da bana hai routine no han ga ta de kuna na mo ga even outside information ki source ba mama mo na phagana bo hana han ga da bani hai ba ni sta han da na mo hari se it involves designing the organizational environment so that the individual will approach as close as predictable to rationality in his decision side. Ego, sine do magi boundary rationality argument ni sama do public policy semba do su nai na bato su masimuk sab sana do apply to hai bani la adu magi chaw mi contribution hai next na kona Charles Lim Bloom gi do public policy approach ni adu mami na do hai ga na mo kana ka incrementalism model to ni incrementalism model ni ka da is a complex interactive process without beginning or end. Mathematics sum option boy ta de keta lo absolutely how absolutely tabuk to dum chata ka taw ga leba tabuk to ko ba fa incrementalism ha bi ni the interactive process ha bi mamang de ha ke de the one that we had is ni mana har ko de ha bi ke de taw ro ma tung da award ba option ba the interaction to in that sense the ha bi ni so interactive process without beginning or end. So it is gradually evolving including variation of the course. The policy Max under this approach is perceived as a person who does not have the time, money, and the brain to make totally different policies. The high from the incrementalism, the same policy together. Medium anata, yam samurai in the pesa matam yan mahi, when no more like the other Yana and our mathematics to 7. So closely related to Simon, but the woman in second Simon Gisiki rationality arguments, Charles Lindblom incrementalism is reject tawine mama je yana da ba kana rationality models na rationality model bu incrementalism models na reject tawe kari gina ma ina ngam da bagin na ti sini lai ta bagin sini yan do lai ta ba paisa lai ta ba wakal or khan bai ngam lai ta ba atopa kari ta da ge do khang da ba maram aduna aha ma law ni khar khar hengal ko ma tu na khara khara sum hapchan ban ha amana yan do lai te to bu ngam de ha ni amana gyan laite to bungam da banate pots in the sulai laite ha ba to doesn't have the time ko matam laite pesa laite wakhan laite kari to bata gyan erasima now Aston gi gado David Aston gi public policy samasu ka none ko gi ang system approach ne input output ko then either adu gi ne na gado wani ma si input ama yaw ne receive input in the form of flows from environment feedback mechanism to me. If you remember the system approach chart, input of system, particular system of environment. As you input to Kanagi through the lack and say churning top of Canada, parties, media, interest group, and no for the input in the Saganga, but low in the same doing happening. So, Samakanda output in Tolakatumi. The demand within political system and their conversions into policy outputs and outcomes. So, into the Sanglani, the legislative part, to the Naigaragas, output in Tadoni, then interact with the environment, then environment interact or return back into the same legislative environment as input now. And about other circle, the next receive input, I said, mediated through it, mediated in a interaction. The basic idea that system approach ki main idea to consider. We carry an approach to public policy happening. Wadi am paming di sapati na te ko ado maruwa go mana kaya interaction to the happening. Public policy ay si kaya judgment ako'y na value judgment ako'y na khali ba pa me ba duga tau thore ba lay ba dugo ado yung maragta lay nari ba interaction side mo yung maragta thoi ba interaction may amlo yung maramda ako'y na lay na ba dugo ado yung maragta khan ba dugo ado yung choice to ba dugo ako'y na Vicarian approach to public policy. Now, door issue like door yes scale doors Israeli machani America like now mana mo kay daw Charles Lindblom incremental model do kay daw mana mo reject daw so incremental na boundary rationality or rationality model reject daw so then magi door approach na mo rationality incrementalism do mo reject daw ato mana halis na kada a modified form of rationalism is tawri ba thabak se kada best to rationality do yong na bane master rationality ngau jo bane so niom li chamane lowa pau du mon do ka mana pai phage khan ma sahari ba thabak se si ma da do do masi nam se kada modified rationality sab kana phag da so modified form of rationality ni or rationalism na sige matungda apna library model singa sina public policy making karana tawbo ge have more meaning model singa one of the most important models I thought jambada like say institutional approach now institutional approach haragati masida kona mun khanga dawsi institutions high se kari machi institutions as a is a public policy the khanga subsidy government government ki mashasin am samna haibada संविधान नत्रगना संविधान की मखादा सरकार नत्रगना लेजिस्लेचर सेम्बा संस्थान सिंग मरत लेबा मरी सिंग तोला तिनारीबा मरी सिंग की मरम लेनारीबा थाबो बना institutional approach का है now institutional approach na kaya express the interaction between social groups and government institutions na sarkar na sa ado sarkar ki subsidy yaw do sa Sarkar is Sangstan is government Sarkar agana government ko kan ko pulo to magi census mayam to adu was samas gi laiba mayam sigi marata lainariba mari tona tinariba to ko na kawi institutional moral law this is public policy making government. Now, matang na rational policy making. This emphasizes that policy making is about making a choice among the policy alternatives on rational grounds. That is to choose the best one. Rational the alternatives, alternatives in the best one, the way rational model go happening. Thomas Stein said, a policymaker weighted two rational policy making policy rational or know all the society's values, preferences, and their relative weights. Next step, Madhu clarify the goals and objectives and rank them. Know all the policy alternatives available. I will compare the consequences of each policy alternatives to the outcomes. Then calculate the ratio of achieved to sacrifice societal values for each policy alternative. Hariba Tabamong the Manga Doriba, Panga Doriba, Aramas, Hamas, Yoba, values in the Mara Anido, Adigimar, Adigilaiba, Changdo, Gamyam Pagadoino, Gamyam Mangadoino, Habdo, Adimaram the Moon, Hagadoni, Yanks and Gadavan Havane. Adulo Ematunda, select the most efficient policy alternative that matches with the goal. When a Pamayo Pandam Duga, Padi Chanabado, Adumatunda, Hangadavane, Lambido, ever. Now, Sina rational model. So rational models of Raga de Banabara, Kunakang is a Gataba. Or when a Kangba, alternatives Mambiamba, alternatives the best lover, Karamba best, upon a palm, the Pamananga. Sin. Now, group model Matangala is never. Policy as group equilibrium. It's the idea of equilibrium. Kanana Karita Womatam equilibrium. Chango ko chamana amana amadu lum do share falada ko adum khaldu manana thamba hebani khaldu badu masida thamli base kanana thambano hai matam na sagi ko system approach to me sida sumami ko mami ukanda bida tariba sida lambi se and feedback to them system approach tamba matam da ko na kari hai gi hai matam da masigi cycle sida akogi equilibrium of Paganisi Kanana Pagan Bano Hypomatan, feedback to the Pagan Bani Hagibani. So Adumaki idea to Nisdam of Italy Seka. Here policy formulators are often since succumbing to pressure of groups through bargaining, negotiating, and compromising. The second meaning saying as a policy makers come together. For pressure groups that we known ba to Tava or Mona Hydokaya ba or in a ying and Uyaba. Other words, Hamas do Nakanamada. I same with Oribaduna Kadargo. Pressure period was to that, Sapu period that non Tava to Tava, Masung Yasanava, Tokibatarabadi, like Ribadu, imbalance or an Amanamadi Kaldu Manarano. The Kalmanan Tabakse. The equilibrium in the system is maintenance by the competition among groups does not permit any group to become absolutely powerful in the system for all time. Ana group sina kaya dapat group ama da yagi betar mas group atopo mayama yahuda basiduna kaya madu oppose tawar kanisna yam sama da group competition naman na sabun apun bas hangstan mayam marakta nainari ba ya sing kainari ba yenari ba or yam apabalo na harga na manada ba mod singuna mara mod na law policy bu same ka dori ba mi singuna akang na ba hangstan amada or ni kuzo amada sabun amada haitare maduda non thaba yasanaba I thabak singdo tawad de habani yam sambada group group complicated group contestation haitare group contestation duna kadaba amana amagi magida khaldu hena salhan gibada thingy happening. So equilibrium can for a feedback direct the hydro one is the second group competition equilibrium maintain to happen. So public policy in such context some sort of equilibrium which in group struggle at any given moment. But the interests of dominant groups are usually reflected in public policy at any point of time. So Maramaduna Pulam non Tagibudo Tinguta Arabaso Kara Sapu Kaliba Mi Kujok Sabundugi Apamba Sindugi Mamidi Ayamamatanda public policy that I happening. Now, elite mass theory of public policy preference. Now, elite theory that some of the public policies elite ke apam bane happening. Elite na samas ki wakalon semi amasung samas du karama makeda pugada ke happen so makona semi. So elite side di kanano hai. Elite side di samas ki matung sawa mathakta laiba laira nataba am sambada sarona harabada laira nataba mayai oramna laira basnataba matung saraga samas di kana batalauraga laiba mi khujok ama lai madubu ne apna elite side is maybe some samas gudi makta laigado laitabe ati masi samas ki laigadabani habati nateko lai habani elites laiba gadabara na no na wakhalon do jana hari et kan ati dinati edis laigadabani habati nate elites lai habani social fact da man habani edit amal lai but laigadabara haraga dinati is it desirable no equal over samas mat sema ko tamda elite habdo laigadi manate habani so manada samas da kam samna matung sa ba lai matong sa ba single gi apamba wakhalon singo adunya ko public policy da mamita se so masi me am singo ko na kaniba dai summarize the telam na hay dai na ka a society is divided into few who have power and the many who do not sama sakti pai ba karama pai ta ba karama only a small number of persons go allocate values for society adu mi kharana ne aba samas ta kari tawraga phagani kari tawraga pharoi kari na apamano pamdabano haiduna lambi paring biriba wakhalon semni base mi khara khaktane aba ada makhoi ya apamado mayamna mato tambo watani am sambada ado masi pura moina pibedi ya no maitre Manipur de am laibani the masses do not decide public policy mayam praja mayam makhala laiba sakti paidaba sakti ga naknadaba or sakti gi horo phamdi koiriba mi mayam duna di kedaba ile theory gi matumina di public policy da decide tabangamde influence tabangamde it is only by the elites. The few who governs are not typical of the masses who are governed. Sasan Zathariba praja sasan Zathariba elites are drawn disproportionately from the upper socio-economic strata of the society. Samas ki mathakta laiba sel thumgi amas any hiram singda samas ni nuairaga ko matung saraga kana ba lauraga laiba ni khara dugdagi khara dubune karmi kujok chambu khara dubune ba elites ni aisa. Now the movement of non-elites of elite position must be slow and continuous to maintain stability and avoid revolution. Only non-elites who have accepted the basic elite consensus can be admitted to governing circles. So elite item masaki makhada laiba sasan pai daba sasan no na sasan salai ra iba salai pham ngoi ba mi sing do adudagi elite ka ba matamda edaba athing badi lai roi da bane ha or lai silai the khare na matung sa ba ma ni de ka khala ka ma du yaw go do adu hari ba se ke do thing ba tho ba di revolution di tho kan ha ba on ma adu tabna matam ge yoi na khara sum elite the sang base bayabaki lambi delay kadabani or lay or masi thing badiati masi thing already among ta thorkani revolution thorkani ado yom samada abdi masses to the or non elite the elite ta kabagi lambi delay hana ado elite man ge elite diversity atang matungina loi ki banati haba sang poto dum how supplement or lay happening. Elite share consensus on behalf of the values of the social system and the preservation of the system. In America, the basis of elite consensus are the sanctity of private property, limited government, and individual liberty. Although elite ki wakhalon do yanagraba maduna yanabam poraketa di maduna samas to same gaduni samas to same by same gaino. Elite ki nga sang yanari bo wakhalon do lehanaba tasanaba like honaba do bune khudamo na haba da America da elite na yanari si kaino da modi private properties ne sarkar na thabo loi to private ka ne no ta Elon Musk Sagera or you the Microsoft Apple yatra Bill Gates lady Apple lady Steve Jobs lady whoever you name, these are all private property concept. Government am to run the Look pay evidence, but more the yanari private properties protect the the government and loan with the private property promoter the government loan the government loan the limited government happening and individual liberty, freedom the nakataban loan privately talk at the liberty like the arena. Wakan kan magambagi ning kata ba later ba yara royal constrain the way are liberty so see me am say American elite sing ne yane high ba elite ne yana ba say masses the American society da masi aphabani achumbani haiduna ingra bane magi founding fathers sing na dum yana ba ga ni sing na say adu kai da high ba say system si maintain taw na bane ba America da taw ba sa thari ba bi paring sing je kudam ge wani So public policy do not reflect the demands of masses, but rather the prevailing values of the elite. Changes in public policy will be incremental rather than revolutionary. So in that sense, elite to na samaj septor laila banina public policy ay si kanagi mami no elite to be mami tani happening. Active elites are subjects to relatively little direct influence from apathetic masses. Elite influence masses more than the masses influence elites. Sometimes Sasandabu Salariba missing them, Salai Saliba missing, Dunadi policy to the impact ide like the hand. Policy the impact and analyzing as I walk alone same river, elite to the lake with Helena. The elite direct master apamba single directly effect of on them or Yarama, sinning, what I said. Now, political public policy approach. So, elite worry the lawyer, some must be elite na decide to win. The high Vasida Lawrence Lindamasum Peter de Leona Masigi approach me and the common money. A political approach na kaya the identification of societal problems that need government action. Political approach na tawag sa kari no iba matamnas hamas gilayriba samasya me amdu kanggopa tijan may thabak to budi aham na tawag sa matanda reasonable trade-offs among conflicting values at the policy making process level. Policy to siyamba po matamda sa thabak po matamda karamba kayo mamang tham kato bano kana na lofo kato na trade-offs sa diyan. Karamana ko na lahok sa loob na karamana yaholoy ta bano haibagi yemgi thawo pari ngaman sathay habani adulo matungda mayamda khwadi kana gada ba the search for common beneficial outcome for diverse group mayamda kana gada ba thawo pari wakhalwan thawo tu adudi thigani habani compromise conciliation and bargaining among participants to win allies ka hariba thabak mayamdu yanaba to win the allies the mission combat politics the mission combat land but haribo wakhalon the public policy again haribo wakhalon the yasanaba yaba missing machine yamno tigadabani habani asimi amse tawra matu da kaidaba tawgi thabak morning dunya bana political approach ka wajah. The public policy se political approach te kai tawi समाज थीबा समस्या थीबा करम तौरगना फगने और करम लौथोकने है येंबा अदगी मानव अमुक येंबा अदु यादव मी सिंगुची यासनना बोनाबा सो दैट अरोबद मयाना पुलपना याव पोरम ओहेनगतबने हैबने अदु पब्लिक पॉलिसी अप्रोच political policy approach now mathang da laidisina strategic planning approach of policy making happening. Now, strategic planning is incremental rational approaches to public policy making. I need to be the strategic planning decisions, but blend rational analysis with economic and political analysis. Rational rational Taurasina 5 Pariana. The 5 Pari I see sale to give you later the command of that. Or Madugi Tabakono Topongamba Rasinti government is stand like the time. Adana Pari Habito Matam to put it in Luna di poverty with you. Adana highly Pari Baduga, our Patuna Nebuna, rational analysis, the alternatives Miam game. Highly Paring Mayam, Duga Punsalaga, Karamba. Adugi Mayam, Dukana Punsanba, sell Tungi Fibam, Amasum. Sarkari Tobong Mapol, Rams into Yelaga, Punsalaga, by the best Kanbatu Punabana, strategic planning approach. Now, Masina Kari Honabaga, reconciling the day-to-day demands, I think. No more palm, but Tangai Pataba, Maru was in the Marata, when Yanabama, Tabak to my partner, Tabakama Tobo to them, with long range strategies for future. Tungi Pandamdo, man the Tamako Uragamatuna, Nasi Sima Plater, Susina Yas, Mani Yaspa, Hydra. Aroba Pandam to the cow with the Nasi Awala Pama Amsindo, Doinama Yan, Kogim Adugim Marakataba. Reconciliation, I didn't white the Manipuri, Tapana Hanbas. Forget about Batam do Sana about Padiki Papa. Lady Bapibam do Sana about Padiki Papa. Tabaks into Kalaga, Tawakana. Future idea though, Manda, CC Bunevasagi, rational blending rational analysis with economic and political analysis. No matter high level conditions, since I think high conditions, Sulated. Kudamakangasi Mangasi, Cyclone Ramna Latana, Raman Latana, no gun time, the low is out for you, flood Tauriga. Water logging lakes. It's not very easy today. But point again, or class of that, the pandemic and a class of that, it's better. I see, I just don't know, I see me better. And Tana Lana or me, Amani, Deutsche Lata, how stories now. Sumna, future pandem to the man by a just spend my mama, Tomam Honor. Now, Adugi being the strategic COVID now. Public policy high but wakalon Zatariba we approach Lambi Paringse. Loina Mapung Parabra nothing. Magi Asonba award per Karadum Legani. Masi theory that would be Tagama of Sarwamani. Nedra, Adu Loina perfect organizing. So Adugi award per Asonba singing Manunda. Why did a hand was a Karino Hamatamda? Samasta housing lady ba Henry was Hamasiam said Masigi Horo Hamse Kana no Haitadi public policy Masana. As I have the alphabet definition itself to not talk on them. Sarkana Toga has not Tawama Tauroi had not told about the public policy nay Haitadi. Policy do not Pangaba Pandam Pangrava sing to the Apabo now. Hangauda bang as I told and Tau had not talked about Sarup Sim to Maramodina, Tolapa Samasya Mam to the Gedaba, how you see Tenariva. I do know no policy must same by what about Samasa Laiba, Amuta Luisia Bangam, they have any public policies. We start to come around to problem Namsan Banatia, Tana Namsan Badmina, Samasa the Laiba program, and see how from Sikanano, public policy, Masama to them. Yarena, first and foremost thing. The expectation may always outweigh the capacity of the political system. Now, maninga mathanga on hoga haibana sinano the gyantara. Sarkar ki laijariba sakti tawbanga meba magi pangal hari basi matam chupada praja ki apamba aningbana adum hele or sarkar ki tawbanga bagi sakti amsu mahogi thabak ondopa gambagi pangal haibase praja da pamiba dudagi adum tara lai haibani maramaduna public policy se matam chupada praja ki apamba fulfill tawba ngamti habaduni am samna hayo harek now mathangda humsubada solution to some complex societal problems may require policies that are more costly than the problems. Problem ama samasya ma address madu thengnana bohana bada kaitaba akoi samasya du i sangba ko sati paisa ki wata nati madu sangba ko senfam singko senfam de paisa da natana mi pangal matam ala pula punjalaga problem masad de madu address tawna ba madu samasya du phagna bo na bada loishana bo na bada thengnari ba awa badu hian gani haibani samasya masada ke di samasya du thengnana ba loishana ba kona bada sangba lambi janapatha ni papangal ko Shakti mayam do na kaito ba hian ba yai bani the problem is always most of the time problems ni hoina pi the input to madu address to na input to na always far outweigh haitare then the problem itself adu ne ya ba ta things aroi bada democratic setup of a country is not structured for completely undertaking rational policy making. Our Simon when I had rational policy making our asshole balay had it incremental and so on. Lord Maxumation Samas Loktantra Gaitare or the Ganatanta did not around one to Manipura. Democratic idea Loktantric or Hibani, Prazatantric or Prazana Sasantova or Loktantric or Chanapat Hapsat Pama Madadi. Rational or policy making chain of Sungawe Sungam there. Karigino Hamatamda as a contestation Mayam Duna complete information from Mungam Day Namlagasu Madu Mayamdo apply to Awa Machine with some of the limitations of public Aduna upon generally in truth of rational policy making largely habitati light the habitatu. Both on top of company. One of the biggest limitations of public policy approach. Thank you.